Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Humankind. This should be episode 6, I think, by now. And we just had a massive battle around the foot of Mount Everest here. It was pretty awesome, but my armies are completely depleted. The benefit though is that I wiped out 3 entire armies of 4 units each of the enemy. So by now I think I probably reset their entire army. I don't see any walking around here. This might give me a breather and an opportunity to actually take back my cities of Huaito and Parsa over here. I do have some units. These guys over here are healing up, or they should be healing up. We have 2 units, an archer and a warrior. They're not the most powerful of people, and this is also just a swordman. Well, these are also swordsmen, but I call them warriors, I guess. Immortals are coming up in Karal, but this is going to take some time. We have more swordsmen coming up in Dur Zoo, but then in Nok we are making a forge because we need extra production to really be able to push out some more units, or to make defenses. Because are these stone walls? I think they are. Yes, they are. All right. But we don't have too much in terms of construction here, at least not infrastructure. But it will help with producing more units in the future. One thing we need to keep an eye out for, I think, is that we don't deplete our cities too much, because we have 8 population in Karal, 7 in Dur Zoo, and at this point we have 5 in Nok, and those are all the cities we own right now. Of course, there are 6 in Huaito, but it's under enemy control. There's 2 in Parsa, which is not that much. Well, we need to keep population around for production, I guess. Now, thanks to a helpful comment, I did figure out how to recruit these army units. We have an army group of 4 over here, mercenaries. They have horsemen and swordsmen. Unfortunately, they are too expensive for us to buy. But we actually have a better option, because I still am not at my city cap. And Curus over here, which is the owner of these defenders, a group of 3, a spearman unit and 2 warriors. This one, the mercenaries, also belong to Curus, I think. Yeah. Have 2 swordsmen and 2 horsemen. And they have another unit over here, which is just all spearmen. These all belong to Curus. Since we have enough influence over them, and we have enough actual influence to buy the city, if we buy this city, it's not the strongest of cities, but it will give us all of these armies. And that is going to be the thing that will put us back into this fight, I think. So, let's go for it. This is going to be the thing that might save our ass here. There's not a lot of food here, actually, so there is something that we need to think about. But since we are the Norsemen, we can actually build a Naust, which provides +5 food per adjacent coastal water, as well as lakes, +1 food on farmers' quarter per adjacent farmers' quarter, +1 money on market quarters and whatnot. It also counts as a harbor, of course, so it is something that we could send ships from. But look at that, +38 food. That's really good. That is really good. And I think we're doing okay on food, and we're getting more population on the next turn. But driving this up is really going to increase our population quickly, which means we can actually build more army units. Did these armies just disappear? We have a 3-man unit of... we have a 3-man army here. Is that it? Really? Did the other guys... Well, I noticed that one of them was called mercenaries. Maybe they hired it? I guess. I'm not entirely sure, actually. We could upgrade these to immortals. We should definitely do so. These guys can get upgraded into swordsmen, which we also should definitely do. And I guess, yeah, this is not quite... the investment that I thought it was. I thought we were going to get a significant army. And instead, we didn't really get that. So that is unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Alright, let's see what else is there. Cultural conversion has ended. Arnhem has been added to the sphere of influence of the Carthaginians. Well, that is to be expected since this is so far away. We can no longer turn this into a city, though we can go past the city cap. It is going to come with a very slight penalty, which honestly I'm not that scared of, but it is going to reduce our influence production, which actually might hurt us in the long run, I suppose. But on the short term, it's not really that impressive. Someone, the Garamantes stole more population. That's really shitty. The Garamantes will enter, Nock will enter the sphere of the Garamantes because I guess we just lost contact with our homeland. So as a result, we will lose influence. All right. As for the Aztecs, they forgave a grievance. All right. I guess we stole their independent people that they were allied with, which is this city over here. But for now, that is the end of this turn. We should move on. We need to start collecting our army units, move them together. Yeah, we're going to move them over here. Let's see, what else can we do? I guess we cannot really... Yeah, we can actually connect these guys up. That will be pretty good. Or they cannot? Huh. I guess they can't. It looked for a second like they might be able to. Unfortunately, that is not the case. But that's okay. Alright, so we have enemy ships over here. These are actually spearmen. They're not going to be the best at fighting us, I suppose. Unfortunately, this does seem the best way to jump forward. But we can go here, actually, still be in deep water. They're going to die if they're going to stay in this for another turn after this. But we will be able to reach another settlement or shallow water quite easily. And these guys, I'm curious as to what I should do. We could take the city. This seems like it doesn't have... Oh, wow. All right, we should have done this a lot sooner. We just took back the city for free. Look at that. We have a lot of food, so we don't need to work on that. We can work on production, and this is something that is quite important right now because we need to make more of everything. We might actually want to go for a wall first, though, because it adds the extra protection in case we get overrun again. So I think for now I will focus on the defense of this particular city. We have a lot of food here. Industry would still be good, but we have a lot of things that we could build in one turn. 6 food. This is all food related stuff. This is money. Money is nice as well. And for one turn, I'll take it for sure. For sure. That is an easy investment to make. We have an army that is about to get lost at sea, but of course we can reach the shallow water over here, while hopefully ignoring the army over here that belongs to the independent people. That is more shallow water. From here we can go 5 spaces this way. So we'll end up here. Maybe we'll see land, maybe we won't.
Are you interested?
Aztecs want to trade everything.
This is good for
sure.
us.
We'll keep as many friends as possible while we are in the process of defending our lands. Alright, so these guys have to move around to the city. That kind of sucks. Oh, and we have another army unit coming up, but we have these units, 3 men strong, pretty nice. We'll move these guys up onto the high ground as well, because when this battle starts, these guys might be in range to actually count as reinforcements, so they might not want to attack us here. I think that's pretty good. As for this army, the question here being, do we want to keep them in Parsa or do we want to keep them in Nock? And Nock, of course, being the city that is closest to the enemy, so I think I will move them back. I think that will be helpful. As for other things, we could go with another Naust. I don't really want to do that. We could go with a Maker's Quarter, but let's see what the benefits might be. Plus 18. That is pretty good. I think I'll go for it. Unfortunately, I cannot buy out the production of it, but it's going to have to do. Meanwhile, a blossoming of beliefs. Religious feeling is strong across the empire, but that is not preventing discord from emerging from among the faithful. Great cities are finding themselves under the sway of diverse religious leaders who each see the standard creed with different eyes. New religious orders are emerging every year, and their influence is growing. What should you do with these groups? We can dissolve them, and which will increase the faith production on 5 cities. Really nice. Plus 5 faith on 5 cities for 10 turns. I don't know how much stronger this would be compared to this. I guess that depends on how many holy sites we have. And lead, which also is plus 25% faith. So these ones are pretty much equal, except they influence different orders, or a different axis. The order axis towards authority. So basically that goes back to somewhere else that it was. This might actually push us back more towards tradition, which should give us more faith production. So I think we're going to go with lead on this one. Right, status of fanatical has been removed from Corral, sure. We have a population gain in Parsa, that's nice, because we only had 2 there. The Goths now feel afraid of me, alright. And a foreign war has been declared between the Aztecs and the Goths. Alright then. Siege tactics have been researched. This is perfect news, because now we can merge our armies into groups of 5. This is really good. This helps us keep them alive for much longer, I think. These guys probably still can only go up to 4, which means that my armies will be stronger than theirs.
We've been going nowhere.
Depending on the units that are in there, of course. We'll accept their trade wishes.
Hail, friend.
We'll share maps of the Mongols. Like I said, I will stay friends with as many people as possible right now. I'll give them what they want, just to make them happy. But of course, this also gives us more map information. So look at that. We now see all of this. So we can see what Carthage is doing, which are now the Mongols, actually. They're quite sizable. These guys are quite weak. These guys are weak. Ooh, the Aztecs actually belong to the Huns. Where are the Huns? These are the Huns? Wait, what? That is crazy. Alright, so now this is something else. Alright, so they are the liege of one empire. So these guys in the dark pink own these guys in the lighter pinkish red, I guess. We have light pink. This is kind of purplish pink, I guess, dark pink, and this is not red, reddish pink. I don't know, man. Yeah. Anyway, we have discovered Eraviculum, which is just a forest, so not a real life thing. The Andes, also just a mountain range. Mekong, just a river, I think. Yeah. Winnipeg Lake. This is also not a unique national wonder. In the Hindu Kush, also not a unique wonder from the looks of it. Right, Victoria Falls.
It's
there we go.
one of those moments that make you feel like a small
Alright, that's pretty
thing.
cool. What does that give them? Plus 10 stability, of course, yeah. Plus 5 food on city or outpost, plus 5 money on city or outpost. And minus 10 population consumption on city or outpost. That is pretty nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. We sold resources. The Carthaginians reached the medieval era, which we are already in with the Mongols. Alright. Which makes sense because they had Carthage. Alright, these guys can go up to here on this turn. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we can go very far. We don't see land, though this is the start of a new sector. But I have doubts if we are able to reach... yeah, I have strong doubts if we can reach another island before they die. So I might just have to pull them back. These guys are going to start moving towards Huaito because I don't know what kind of strength the enemy has here. Oh, they can move one more. Alright. That gives us a bit more information. This is not shallow water. Alright, what else do we want? Let's open up the technology screen, because I want to really move towards something that gives me the ability to cross deep waters without people dying. Though it seems our yeah, there's going to naval transport all the way up to here. 2 turns. This is 39, and then this one is 17. That is so far away, and this is the actual thing that we would need. So we have been set back tremendously because our science production is not up to snuff. Not at all. Now we do have charcoal kiln that requires 2 copper, which we don't have. +1 industry per workers on the artisan workshop, and +2 worker slots. That's okay. I don't know if I want to spend time on that first though. Horseman. Maybe the horseman disappeared because we don't have access to the technology yet, but that seems weird to me. Night raids. Rhetoric, influence, science per population, library, that's pretty good. +5 faith on holy side. Actually that's let's go with that first. I need to cancel the other ones. Rhetoric, there we go. I think this is about all we can do for transportation at the moment. We might be able to grab this, these islands, this territory with this army unit. And I think that is what we are going to have to do. Right, so far these guys still are not trying to push for a war victory, which suits me just fine because it gives me a chance to come back. Alright, let's go ahead and attack these guys. They might run away, but we should have the advantage here. Yes, okay, they are running away, which gives us war support, of course, which is nice. They run away for quite some distance actually, and these guys, I could chase them down. I cannot actually reach them. We have another group of 4 over here, however. That is not great, and they're trying to destroy this this territory. I think probably I should move these guys over here and we'll heal them up for 1 more turn. We need to keep these army groups together. That's why. These guys are going to move back because I want to keep them alive. And these guys probably should just move back into Nock and defend it. For the simple reason that these are not very strong units. And we have an army of 4 over here. What is this? An English rebel in Hueto. That is nice. That will attack them and keep them busy for a little bit at least. We don't really have strong production options. We could use more warriors, and we actually do have... yeah. Right, we could get an archer in 2 turns, which is pretty nice. Healers don't help me much at this point. These guys are the strongest, but only in certain terrain types. I think we could hold the wall and have archers pepper the enemy and just have like an army of 5 over here in the corner. I definitely need to keep these army groups together, because these guys will be the equal. Right, these guys need 3 turns to plunder. That is something to remember. And these guys can move over here. These guys can move over there. We'll keep them together. We have an osmosis. Minus 50% on higher army cost. Enact mercenary armies for independent peoples. You will not spend influence, and your ideological proximity with English will increase. Those are the people we are at war with. That might help in the future once this war is over. Home Guard immediately raises a full army composed of militia units. This will consume 5 populations in the second city. Very defensive. Going to cost a lot of population. Not a big fan. Do I want to enact this? This is the question, however. Because these are not in the... Yeah, this is independent peoples. We did not actually make a choice in this yet. And we could get this for free, it seems. It said. Oh. So why not, right? That is only beneficial. So it kind of makes the choice for us, but that is okay. I don't mind that too much. Let's see, 4-2... 2-6. 2-6. This is not the strongest of places, obviously. We would want to go over here, I guess. I'll move my army units over here. We'll settle. Because why not, right? We could turn this into a city, but that costs a lot of influence. And then we could attach this as a territory. Don't particularly care to do that, however. These guys are going to stay put until the archer is done. There we go. Now we have an army group of 5. We have an army unit of 4 over here. Another one of 4 over here. These guys are kind of wounded. So we could take advantage of that. Right, we'll move these guys onto the low ground. These guys can move onto the high ground. They will reinforce each other in battle, but we have another army group of 4. Really need to really need to pick our battles here again. Curious. What do we want to do? Influence is nice. It's important. Only takes 2 turns, but at this point I might care more about production. +6. +4, +4, +6. We don't want to build the districts because the districts are kind of weak right now. We would have stability problems, which we don't want to have. +4, +6 for 1 more turn. I guess we'll go with Forge. Why not? As for knock, what do we want to do here? More production would be nice. This one is okay, but 10 turns is a lot. We have good stability. We could put this here and would replace a farmer's quarter. We don't want to do that. 8+8 here and at -1 food at the cost of stability. -12 stability, that is interesting. Why is this -12 and it's only -10? One food is not that big of a problem though. I think we can make up for that since we still have many infrastructures related to food that we could build. How are we doing on the war support? We are still at 0. So every time we get a little bit, that just completely disappears. Because they own 2 of our cities. Alright, this is going to disappear in 1 turn, which means the Durukurigal Zoo will lose this territory, which is not great. Unfortunately, we cannot move over here and start a battle, which kind of sucks. We might be able to engage these guys, though it will involve the army currently raiding us. That might not be a bad thing. It will also involve our own units. We might be able to block off the high ground. Here, have archers on the high ground, and they actually run away, so we get a little victory. That's nice. Doesn't really benefit us all that much, I suppose. These guys are going to move over here, stay on the high ground, and camp there for 1 more turn, I suppose. There's not much else we could do. We'll grab this territory just because we can, and it's pretty cheap. I will get access to coffee and 2 unknown strategic resources in the future. If we ever make it that far. We might not, I don't know. We'll see. Research quarter. Is there any useful place that we could build? Strong places. +8 over here. I'll go ahead and grab that because that is pretty nice. And we do need to catch up on that a little bit. So we will be out of the medieval era with the Norsemen before we ever reach the their unique units, I think, at this point. Which is just terrible. +6, +5, +2, that sucks. +5 and 5, or +6 and 6. We could go for something stronger, maybe. This is +10, but this is being raided. We will lose access to this on the next turn. Let's do a small investment of 5 turns, so we can do something else. This is a little bit of flexibility. Right, you were being ransacked, you were looted. Alright, so this just disappeared. And now we are getting attacked. So we have immortals, warriors, as well as reinforcements. We have 1 archer, 2 more warriors. Oh, so just 1 archer. What do they have? They have the Markabata, as well as Gasati, and the reinforcements of the same. So basically this is their army composition the whole time. We don't have another army nearby, I think, except for this one. It probably will not reach the battle in time, but we might endeavor to get here. We could get there in 4 turns. Nah, the battle will be over by that time. We have another army group of 4 over here. We'll move over into this city tile. Be a bit more on the defensive there, I guess. This takes 3 more turns. We'll, I guess we'll just camp this unit on here for the time being, since there are enemy units over here as well.
Do something.
Trade everything. Yes, I want to see if I could get one of these other guys to declare war on the English, though. That would be super cool. The Byzantines.
We welcome this opportunity for dialogue.
It's not something that is easy to do, actually, because there's no options here. There are crises, but that's not a part of it. We are not allied to them, and we cannot do so. Well, this is this goes away in 9 turns.
I bid you greetings in the name of my proud people.
These guys, we will renounce this. This makes them a bit more pleasant. We can propose an alliance. We are now allied to them. That is
This will
good.
be a blessing for all parties. I accept.
As for this, let's see. A piece of my enemy, the English. Let's see if we can demand this.
Stop right there. Let me set you straight.
And see if they want to do it.
I am willing to curb my impatience and accept your demands.
They have accepted my demands.
you.
That is perfect. Perfect. Right, let's also see if we can propose a scientific
Come.
agreement.
Both our peoples need this.
We don't have
You
enough money,
must enrich the offer.
so we have to refuse
I
it.
would
This
not
is increases
inflict
their
this
war
proposal
support.
upon my
Actually, that kind of
people.
sucks. I didn't want to
You
do
have
that.
not been particularly impressive.
Let's see, what else could we do? Is there something we could buy from them? No, I'm better off saving my money. The question here, however, is do we want to take this fight, or do we want to run away from it? Our swordsmen are not as strong as their Gezati, but our immortals will be able to take out the Markabata pretty quickly. Unfortunately, we need to be on the high ground, and we don't have much of it. We do have forest areas, which protect us a little bit. We can get reinforcements up on the high ground, which we could block off. And we could even start here, but the enemy will have first turn, so they will move here and then attack down. If we start here... so that's pretty terrible. We don't want to stand here, because they will just run over the hills and attack down into us, and we will lose a lot of hit points. So even standing here, that will just allow us to take many hits, which I don't want to get. High ground and fortified positions, yeah, so in cities and high ground. Well, we won't get high ground until we take this. Even then, this is higher than this. So we will be in a pretty bad position here. Would be much better if we could get an area with more choke points. Like this area here would probably benefit us more, because we could stand up here somewhere, prevent the flank. We're already at 0 war support anyway. I might as well try to keep my units alive. I will run away from this for the time being. Ongoing ransack. Alright, so now they're ransacking this territory, which I think is attached to Parsa. This is a 5-strong army unit. At this point, actually, we could still propose a white peace. A return to peace without any victory being declared. Any outstanding demands will be abandoned, but a portion of the current war score will be remembered for future conflicts. We will retain 46, they will retain 45. But this
I
has been
reach
quite
out to
expensive
you.
for them as well.
Haven't our people suffered enough?
No, not acceptable.
Alright, they don't want to.
What words?
They're very
that
cool-headed,
mean nothing.
supposedly, but... yeah, they favor the use of military power to reach their goals. Yeah, that makes sense. Crusader... yeah. Alright, Avenger... They retaliate until extermination of the aggressor. But what do they have to retaliate for? They are the predator and you are a likely prey. Best start running. They aired serious grievances against us. Their war support is much higher than us. Yeah, that all makes sense, I guess. This is not too great, however. This would also be okay for us. Ooh. What was that? I just clicked something. The English forced you to surrender. Your people gave up the fight and you were forced to surrender. Why are we then still in a fight? Attitude changed. They feel differently about us. The Mongols forgave a grievance. The English triggered their migration. Okay. New grievance available. New grievance available. Alright, so I think they just... Whoa, we did not have any say in this. We just lost Nok and we lost Huaita. We keep Parsa. They have another army over here. They took Formalhaut. What? They took so much territory from me and they're still attacking me. We're running away from that, of course. But I did not have any say
You
in
have
this.
my greetings, but that's all that you're getting.
Alright, we have a lot of grievances against them, so our war support should go up pretty high. But holy shit, man. Alright, we'll move these guys back. They're exhausted. Oh man, what the hell? How did we just lose access to these cities, both of these cities, without just having even a look at the victory screen, you know? Like, that really sucks. I want to be able to, discuss a little bit at least of the possibilities, like what we can do to stay in the fight, or or like what I want to lose, what I'm okay with losing, what I can work around, but we don't have any such thing happening for us. Oh man, that really sucks. Alright, so our food production has gone down quite a bit. At this point it would be good to invest in flood irrigation, I guess. And as for Parsa, they had the option to do this for a long time, and I don't know why they waited for so long, but they finally did it. +7 industry, that's pretty decent. I guess we'll go for that one here. We're down to just these 4 cities actually, because we have Curious, but Curious, honestly, it's probably a pretty crap city, because I just bought it to get access to the army, which I didn't even get access to, you know. So I feel like I'm being very stubborn just because, you know, I have someone who is excited about these videos and I'm willing to please, of course, but come on. Wow. And they will continue the fight. Alright, we will retreat from this once again, because we can and we must. But we are in a terrible position here, and I think this has probably become untenable unless... Oh, we still have Sceptrum over here. We could evolve this into a city. Would that be worthwhile? Not really. For what it costs. And it's going to be sandwiched in between cities. It's just not very good. We could get access to this city, but again, this is also not really a territory that is very strong. Because the terrain it's basically situated on. There's a reason the AI hasn't taken this one yet. There's a reason they didn't take this. so all of that is pretty crappy. Now we could turn this into a city, but again, this is also not really that great. But we do have some, we have something that we could work with here, I suppose. And we could launch units from here into the new world. This might actually be okay. You know what? Let's go for it. I'm just going for it. This is Heidebeer right now. And right now, I think we'll just invest in a pottery workshop for 3 turns. What we also want to do here is Lausle. It takes 1 more turn to get finished, so we'll end the turn here. We'll attach this to Heidebeer. Affects the stability just a little bit, but gives a little bit more food, a little bit more production, and we should be able to make something work. Alright, we have an army unit of 4 or 5 actually. And we cannot declare war, or we cannot be done as you have to declare war and don't have enough war support for that. Alright, so they attacked us because we were in what is now their territory, I suppose. We do want to try to take control over this territory again, because it is neutral right now. They for sure will try to put an outpost there, but I want that territory to go back to my control. We need stronger units, but we just don't have access to that many. So at this point, it might actually be prudent to invest more in science. And I think we actually lost good science here as well, because we put this yeah. Crap. And this is not strong unless we start stacking it up with something else. This is okay with religion, I guess we'll go for it, but I'm not impressed with it by any means. Rhetoric has been done, alright. A scientist star has been unlocked, that is okay, but we are also still super far behind. Like not even at 50 of... We're not even at 50% of what the lead guy has. They've just run away completely here.
So, will this independent people be an ally or an enemy?
And yeah,
barrier
there it is.
or a blessing? Their future may not be in their hands.
They just took control over this territory, which is understandable. But I'm not at all happy about it. We'll move this unit up as well.
Well, well. Another empire has certainly left a mark.
These guys
on
will
the
definitely have to
with
move
this
back to
cultural
Nok,
wonder.
to Parsa to defend it. This really sucks, man. This puts me in a terrible position. And they had the opportunity to put me out of my misery a long time ago, and they just didn't, which is just... yeah. Huh. Alright, they're attacking me here. Without support. But they just attach this to the city, so this means I can no longer try to take out this outpost without declaring war. But they will try to push me out of the city, and in this case I am stronger, I have the benefit. I am going to take this fight without a doubt. Alright, these guys will move back here, so we have the high ground under control at least. Yeah, and deployment, they will attack first of course, because that is just what they do. They will take advantage of the high ground there, which makes sense. Oh, they're archers. Whoa! I did not see that one coming. The AI is pretty good and aggressive in this. Holy shit. They do tons of damage and receive very little. Now I cannot do my ranged attack. These guys from the low grounds, which is terrible. This is not where we want to be. These are equal. These guys could trade, which is okay. It's not great. These guys could not trade very well. Alright, so these guys could move around the back maybe. Try to get into the rear. That will be okay. These guys can do the same. I don't want to stand here because they will just attack into the low ground, which sucks. I guess these guys will pull back a little bit and defend the rear. These guys are going to defend. And these guys, what do we want to do with them? This is not really special terrain. We could try to flank around the back. Try to hold the line up here and then have 3 units swing around to attack from the back. I think that's probably about the best we could do here. We'll have to take the shots from the archers, of course, but... oh! Alright, that was a mistake. So that was a strong attack. These guys are responding to my flank, which makes sense. But this was definitely a mistake. Because now we can attack these guys with relative... well, pretty good trades, essentially. Alright, these guys are going to have to move over here. They are going to be on the defensive. They could attack, but will not do so for this turn. They will go on the defensive. These guys might actually have to pull back up to the high ground, since most of the army units are here, and they might break through my immortals. So then I want to keep this line. These guys are falling back. That makes sense. Now they are impossible to reach on the next turn. I think the Sati are a unit that I've never really looked at as strong before, but they definitely are. They don't lose combat strength from getting wounded, so that definitely works in their favor by a lot more than I imagined it would. But this is a good trade. I will definitely take that. We will be able to attack into the archers, which I will also do. We are able to wipe out this unit entirely, which is nice. And we could attack the archers. These guys are going to die on the next turn. They might get peppered to death. We might as well sacrifice them, or try to pull them all the way back. But that doesn't seem helpful, since we still have several units to take care of. We are going to go for that last ditch attack and maybe even wipe out the archer. There we go. Yeah, that was an okay trade, I suppose. These guys, this guy... oh, I should have pulled them back. Now they will get attacked from the high ground. I want an undo button here. I want an undo button for sure. That was a bit premature on my part, but this has been ended for this turn anyway. As for cities, Durkurgal Zoo, what do we want to do? They need food. And they need food really badly. We could build a district, and I think I'm okay with that. Though at this point, honestly, this campaign is probably over at this point. We could go for coffee, which provides us a little bit of a benefit, I suppose. +1 food per farmers per coffee. That's pretty decent. Garamantes have become the Taino. Sure. Alright, and now we continue our fight. These guys, of course, attack from the high ground into the low ground, wipe out my unit. That was to be expected. That was really not what I wanted to do. These guys can do a decent attack from the high ground, and we should definitely get my immortals in on the fight, because this time they will actually have an advantage. Attacking from the high ground. Yep, that is what we need. Hopefully a little bit of damage, but not too much. That's about middle. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I will park them up here, because if these guys fall back, they could attack down. Yeah, they can attack into these units as well, but no, these guys are going to defend. So if they go down, we can do another attack, and these guys will now have to attack up into the high ground. But this is what I expected them to do. So now they have to run away. Wow, there's a lot of movement. I thought I'd be safe here. I didn't figure they could go all the way up here. That is so messed up. Alright, we'll move these guys around the back. These guys will gain as much of the high ground as possible. Actually, we'll put them there. This is just such a bad trade, man. Actually, I should have pulled them back. Made them come down from the high ground. These guys will definitely stay put, so that they won't get attacked, I guess. Or if they get attacked, they will be on even footing, but that still will wipe them out. This is so bad. My units suck. The Gusati are just terrible. Alright, we did win the battle, but at what cost? We lost a ton of units. We lost even another one. Trespassing army destroyed. Ah, because we're trespassing, I guess. Yeah, so first of all we'd have to pull back out of here and then... Holy shit, man. Alright, so we did get another tenet. So we go up to tier 2, that is okay. And the Zoroastrianism is already on this. Bear not false witness, +5 science on research quarter. I think that is the way to go, because it makes up a little bit for our lack of research potential. We could select a religion as well, but meh. Bear not false witness. There we go. So that at least is still going okay. We'll pull back onto the river. We'll have them heal up. We still only have 2 warrior units though. And we have an army group of 5 over here. But these guys are getting wiped out by anything. These guys, look at that, they have longbowmen now. This campaign is over, I think. I'm going to put a cut into the video here anyway, because it's been some time already since we started playing, but this campaign is done. I'm getting outpaced by all of these guys. Like, how much fame do they have? They're 2nd place. They are about to move on to the next era. Or they could. This game completely ran away from me and I just lost it. I think that's about all I can do. But thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you want to see another season of Humankind. And I will consider it for the future. I do have other things I need to focus on as well, however, so it might not be immediate. But it's always good to know there's an interest and people do want to see more. It will definitely make me want to go back into the game at some point. Of course, as well, because it's still getting updated on a regular basis and it can only get better from here. And I'm truly hoping that they can do a little bit more to balance at least the early game. Like it seems that like one AI is always running away from you. I have no idea what they do to get this much of a lead this early in the game, you know. But yeah, it seems one guy just gets all the benefit. Either you steamroll them a little bit, or they just completely run away from you with the fame. And it's just not that. I don't know. It seems like there's still some more balancing to be done there, you know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.